Pig and Whistle Tales from Azeroth. As always, here at the Pig and Whistle Inn in Stormwind, I go through a variety of subjects with regards to World of Warcraft. So grab a bottle or a pint, sit back and enjoy. This midweek episode, we'll be going over the forums once again. We'll be taking a couple posts this time. We're going to be looking at one that is hardcore WoW related and the other which is PvP related. We're going to start off with the hardcore related one. This one I think everyone will disagree with, and I think everyone will actually come together and say no to this because this is an awful idea. That's the nicest way of putting this. So, I'm not going to tell you the title of this one. I have a wonderful idea, my dearest Blizzard devs. I got nothing but love for you all at Blizzard, and I want nothing but to see you guys succeed and deliver more fun and good times for all of us. And I got a great idea for a major income revenue and a great service to us at the hardcore players. Okay. Have in the shop a scroll of resurrection or something like that, and it's costly. It will cost $100 real, and let's say for one per character option after you buy it. Let's say, for an example, your fave hardcore character you have been playing died, and so you log into your dead character, visit a graveyard, and with that scroll in your account possession, the graveyard healer says return to life is costly and will only work this one time. Are you sure you want to return to this perilous life? You click yes, and he resurrects your dead character back to life. I'm not going to go over it yet. A second chance, but it will cost us. Idea. He's mistyped here. So totally do that, and I'm sure others would too if it's a character they really love. For example, I had a 23 troll hunter I was leveling, and well, I did a tough quest and died. I just really liked him. I want him back alive on a hardcore server, of course. So yeah, what do you think? Okay. Firstly, level 23 hunter, you're going to spend £100 or dollars to res it on a 23 troll hunter. You could do that in about several hours potentially, as a hunter anyway. Maybe. It might take like a day or two actually, 23. But like, it's a hunter. When you get to a certain point, your pet just carries you. You know, it's one of them things. Secondly, it's your fault for dying because you did a tough quest. Thirdly, hardcore is hardcore. If you die, you die. That's the whole premise of it. There shouldn't be this, oh, you get a second chance. No, if you die, you die. Because if you add something that is pay to res in the shop, people will buy it, sure, but then it's not hardcore. It's paid core, essentially, is what it will be known as. And the thing is, it makes stuff less perilous. It makes the game less enjoyable because people who raid in hardcore, that there's a sense of danger because if someone fucks up one mechanic, that's it. Because WoW classic raids aren't tough. They aren't tough at all. The tough part comes from the lack of concentration. Like, any split second, a mechanic can still wipe you if you get over aggro on the boss. He can still one-shot you, depending on your class. So that's where the danger comes from. A lot of streams would lose viewership on hardcore servers for this sort of thing because it's like, oh, well, they're just going to pay for a resurrection. And then it's like, oh, okay, but they only have one life left now. And it's like, oh, well, they should have had one life in the first place. This shouldn't be a thing. This is one of the worst ideas I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to shut it down immediately. I don't even play hardcore WoW. But I know the whole premise of hardcore WoW is to have that one life. One life, and if you mess up, you mess up. You learn from it, you go again. And that's the replayability of hardcore WoW as well. Because it's like, fuck, I got to level 54 and died in Silithus to a random mob that I came across. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be in Silithus at level 54. I'll remember that next time. And then you get back there after a month or two of grinding, and you're like, oh, maybe I should just go and get the flight path in Silithus, like when you're in Ungoro at level 53, 54, 55. And it's like, no. I remember last time I just died doing that, so I must skip that for now. I'd rather take the extra bit of time to run there when I'm max level rather than, go and pick it up and die again. You learn from your experiences. This won't help you learn. This will make you still be a dumbass and die to a tough quest that you clearly can't solo. Like, if you want to try and like do quests and you die, fair enough. Like, you're actively choosing to do these tough quests solo or in a group, etc. And that's fair enough. I rate you for that. But if you die doing it, you can't just be like, oh, well, spend $100 to just resurrect my character. You know, no, your dumbass died at level 23 doing a tough quest, which, by the way, a level 23 Troll Hunter should be able to solo a tough quest, depending on what the quest is, to be honest. This was one of the worst ideas I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie. It's really a bad take because it doesn't mean that hardcore is hardcore WoW anymore. It means that it is like just something that if you die, you can pay £100 for or $100 and then suddenly get your character back to life. That makes no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. The second one. Now, this one, there's bits and pieces that I agree with. There's some that I don't. Sorry for the rude title, but damn, PvP gear sucks. Title is PvP gear is designed horribly. It's really a rude title. The way I see Conquest gear is just in between placeholder until you get either tier or crafted gear. Okay, yeah, kind of. But problem with tier gear is there's five potential pieces, but these potential pieces don't necessarily have any good stats on them. A couple pieces might, some might not. Crafted gear, you can make a lot of crafted gear, but at the same time, only 2 of these crafted gear pieces have embellishments. And these embellishments are stuff like Spore Cloak or Precog or that one where you get stats when you CC someone. You know, that kind of deal. So let's see where it goes. Add more stat diversity to PvP gear. There is no need to put so much verse. No one is stacking 30% plus verse except a handful of specs or cheese builds for 2s. I'm stacking quite a lot of verse, I think, on my Boomy. And that's because I don't need tier gear. So I'm stacking just to verse haste, as per usual. I think a lot of people stack verse, if I'm not mistaken. Quite a lot do. Imagine getting a haste mastery verdant chest piece from the vault. Okay. That would be way more exciting than just getting another 400 verse and 200 haste piece that I will replace anyway. Why would that be more exciting? Because all you've done is switch the stats. You've switched mastery and versatility stats. That's it. Why is that way more exciting? I don't see where he's coming from with this. It's the same. PvP gear stats need a rework. A PvE crafted system should not be BIS for us. Either give us more stat options or redesign verse to make it more viable. Verse is very viable. There's a reason a lot of resto druids are a good target to kill. It's because they don't have versatility, and we can exploit that in teams such as like Ret Demon Hunter, Ret Warrior, etc. Like, you can exploit someone not having like versatility. Oh, and crit is completely useless for 95% of specs. Crit needs a rework in PvP, probably in PvE as well. Crit's a bit of a weird one because, like he says, it is useless in pretty much 95% of specs. I think Arms Warrior used it back in Season 1, but since the crits got nerfed, oh my god, crits got nerfed and I'm still getting hit for what I get hit for in PvP. That's crazy. Since crits got nerfed, you don't stack crit as an Arms Warrior now. You go with Mastery, I think it's something like that. It's Mastery or Haste, but I'm pretty sure it's Mastery. Maybe 50-50. I can't remember. Not a warrior player, as you can tell. Crit, I definitely think needs somewhat of a rework. I think a certain percent of crit can turn into versatility or haste. I don't know. But ultimately, what the devs have said is that there's some PvE niche gear that they like seeing in PvP. So there was a couple pieces like a while back. Battle for Azeroth had the Mechagon trinket. That was a very cool PvE piece that was actually good in arenas. You had I forgot the piece. Oh my god, it was so good. Like Spore Cloak is really good and defined the meta almost. Like every caster needed it pretty much. It's just another defensive. You know, these small niche pieces are very good. I think this guy is literally decking his druid out with the like PvE pieces and crafted pieces. I don't know why when PvP pieces are pretty much all there. You only need to swap out like a few bits and bobs, nothing too major. You get like a ring, you get another item for precog, and you can get a couple more pieces, but they're not going to give you much in terms of like an advantage. They give you a small like stat boost, or if you really want to mid max, you can really craft everything, but there's no reason not to because the PvP changes now are a lot better. I did check this guy. He isn't the most experienced player, I will say that. And I do tend to find a lot of them less experienced players think a lot of this sort of thing, potentially. Don't get me wrong, loads of experienced players do as well. But I don't know. I think they're looking into stuff with PvP gear and stuff like that. I say this because they've brought out a lot of things to do with gold for PvP. Now, this was never a thing. In the past couple of patches, they brought out stuff that you can get gold with via spending honor. You can buy honor with honor to send to other characters. So they are listening, and I think that they will eventually update a little bit of the PvP statting and gear and make it more streamlined, etc. But from where we were in Shadowlands, where you had to get to a certain point in your rating to level up your PvP gear, and someone was always at more of an advantage depending on your bracket, you know, all of that shit, it's come a long way. It was originally decent, and then it became really shit, and then it became good in Dragonflight again. So I think this person's nitpicking a bit, because I think a lot of classes actually stack 30% Versa. I think it's only like one or two that don't, but I don't get why you wouldn't stack Versa in PvP scenarios. But look, it is what it is. People have their own thoughts. It's I really don't know. I definitely think that PvP, like gearing wise and stat wise, is a lot better than what Shadowlands was. I think in season 3 of Dragonlance, actually, like everything got kind of inflated, like versatility, haste wise, and stuff like that. So I'm not too sure. But look, that is where we'll end the episode this week. Thank you all very much for listening, as always. Let me know on your thoughts down below. Please rate the episode and stuff. It will really help out the channel. But check out all the socials as well down below. Thank you all very much for listening, and go with Valor, friend.